I struggled with insomnia for 16 years, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get rid of insomnia when nothing you've tried has worked. First off, if you're here with me right now, I assume that you haven't been sleeping well, and I personally know how tough it is to be sleep deprived on a regular basis, and I want you to know that you can get through this and turn things around much faster than you think. If you're serious about fixing your sleep, I want to remind you that I have a much longer, detailed masterclass training that's completely free, which I'll link in the description below. All right, so it is first important that you understand why nothing you've tried has worked so that you know what to focus on instead. I've been helping people overcome insomnia naturally for over 5 years, and unfortunately, most people usually end up finding me after they've already tried a zillion things that actually kept them stuck in the insomnia cycle much longer than they needed to be. So whether you've had trouble sleeping for years or if you're just recently experiencing some bouts of insomnia, make sure you watch this video until the end because there are so many nuances to this if you want to fix your sleep fast. So here's why some of the most popular insomnia treatments don't work for a lot of people. They stress you out even more, which only makes it harder to sleep. And I'm referring to certain CBT-I protocols like sleep restriction, making you track how many hours you're sleeping, making you get out of bed if you don't fall asleep within 20 minutes. And apparently this does work for some people, but it is not a one size fits all approach, because I have had many clients and members of my Sleep Success online program come to me who had tried CBT-I already and it did not work for them. So for some people, it can stress them out even more, and that doesn't help you sleep. So other insomnia treatments like sleeping pills, over-the-counter sleep aids, even supplements like melatonin, none of these things actually address the root cause. Because you see, sleep isn't the real issue. You can sleep. You were born with the natural ability to sleep. So things like sleeping pills are forcing your brain to put you to sleep when sleep isn't the real issue that we want to fix. What we do want to fix is whatever is causing you to be awake at night. That is what we want to resolve so that sleep then happens naturally and automatically for you, which is what I am obsessed with helping people fix. Sleeping pills also have side effects, and while they might help in the short term, they aren't meant to be taken long term. And for a lot of clients who come to me, the sleeping pills they were taking, their body ended up building up a tolerance to the medication so that it stopped working anyways, and then they were back at square one. And it's been so just mind-blowing to see so many members of my Sleep Success program be able to actually taper off of the pills that they were on and no longer need them anymore. Okay, then we have sleep hygiene, which is the term for all of the basic sleep advice. This is what you'll find in a Google search or what, the doctor might tell you. Things like don't look at screens, don't drink caffeine past noon, sleep in a cool, dark room, don't exercise in the evening. And while some of those tips, they might be good advice, it's just not enough for most people because it doesn't take your mind into account. And I'm going to explain a lot more about what I mean by that. But before we get into the blueprint for how to get rid of insomnia naturally, I'd love it if you let me know right now in the comments, does this make sense so far as to why all of these things don't work for a lot of people? And if you're feeling a little bit better now that you know that you're not broken, it's just these approaches that aren't the most effective, let me know as well. I'd love to hear from you, and it's going to really help this video get seen by more people who really need it. Here is the blueprint for how to get rid of insomnia naturally. Step 1 is to stop looking at insomnia as only a nighttime problem. This is what keeps so many people stuck way longer than necessary, and this is exactly what happened to me. It is common to assume that insomnia begins when you get into bed at night and can't fall asleep. But this is how you stay stuck with insomnia because it leads you to look for solutions that fix the nighttime falling asleep issue. But then you get sucked into a cycle of trying one sleep product after the next. The other really big problem with this approach is that when you start trying all of these things to fix your sleep, they usually don't work long term. So then it makes you feel like you're broken and like you've lost the ability to sleep, which isn't true, But when you start to believe that you can't sleep, that then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy and perpetuates the problem. Because then you start worrying about your sleep or feeling anxiety about your sleep, which keeps your body on high alert, and you physically cannot fall asleep if your mind and body are on high alert. So you can see how this gets a little bit tricky, and it can turn into a bit of a tangled mess that can get worse and worse. But we can unwind all of this with the right approach, which I'm about to share with you. And when we do that, your sleep can improve very, very quickly. Step 2 is to start focusing on the root cause behind why your mind and body are staying awake at night. What used to happen to me is my mind would not shut off. I'd close my eyes, and those thoughts would just keep going from one topic to the next for hours and hours and hours, and most of the time, I wouldn't feel like I fell asleep until just a few minutes before my alarm went off. So whether it's your mind and your thoughts keeping you awake, or if it's more of a feeling of you just being alert with energy and not tired, both of these things indicate that the brain isn't releasing melatonin, which is the hormone that makes you fall asleep. So why is the brain not releasing melatonin? Well, it's usually because your brain is interpreting nighttime as you needing to be awake and alert. So it keeps your mind racing on high alert, or your body full of adrenaline, so that you're prepared and ready to go do something. So how do you fix this? Well, there is some underlying reason why your brain is keeping you awake at night. Your brain always has a reason for what it does. And if you have trouble sleeping night after night, that indicates that this has become an automated habit by your brain. And it's in the subconscious part of the mind where all of your habits are stored. The subconscious mind does not work the same way as our conscious mind. The subconscious does not understand logic, which is why you can say things like, I want to sleep, and you consciously know that sleeping is good for you and it's in your best interest, but your subconscious mind hasn't been agreeing with that. So what I did to get rid of my insomnia, and what has worked for hundreds of people who've gone through my sleep success program, is reprogramming the subconscious mind so that it understands it's better for your mind and body to calm down at night and fall asleep instead of activating and keeping you awake. Because once you approach this in a way that your subconscious mind understands, your sleep can change so fast where it just becomes easy and natural for you like it used to be, and you can go on with your life not worrying about your sleep ever again. So if you want to learn even more detail about how to do this, the free masterclass I created dives deep into all of this in so much more detail. I explain the subconscious mind, how you can reprogram your subconscious and retrain your brain to sleep naturally again. You can get instant access to the masterclass at the link in the description below. So your next step is to go register and watch that right now. You are missing out if you don't. That's all for this video. You're awesome for watching all the way to the end. If you're interested in working with me or learning more about my programs, my website is below, meredithloudon.com. You can check out my other videos right here. I appreciate you, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day.